Assalamu alaikum dear students and welcome to our next lecture. आज के लेक्चर में हम देखेंगे कि पैरामीट्रिक मेथड्स कौन से हैं और किस तरह से वो क्लासिफिकेशन पर्पस के लिए उनको इस्तेमाल किया जा सकता है. इंट्रोडक्शन. We look at some definitions of statistics and then we move toward the derivation of estimation of the parameters. A statistics, any value that is calculated from a given sample is known as statistic. Statistical model, which is a mathematical formula or set of formulas, use the information provided by the sample to make decisions. Parametric methods assume that the sample is drawn from some known distribution. The main thing here is that when we use a parametric method, they make an assumptions about the distribution of the sample, and if the distribution is known, then we can estimate the parameters of their distribution, which can be used for the prediction, future classification purposes. In parametric approach, the model is defined with the help of small number of parameters, for example, mean or variance. Sample-based parameter estimation leads to the knowledge of whole distribution. If we are able to correctly identify the underlying distribution, then we can find these parameters, mean and variance and others, with the help of sample, with the help of data that we have, and that can easily estimate the actual population distribution. So based on sample, we can build a classifier that can classify the instances of complete population. Parametric modeling estimate the parameters from given sample, plug them in assumed model to get estimated distribution, and use this distribution to make parameters. There are two methods that we will study in this class. One is maximum likelihood estimation and other is the Bayesian estimation. Maximum likelihood estimation. Let we have identically independent distributed samples given by this formula. Assume that xt are the instances drawn from some known distribution. If that is some known distribution, it would be easy for us to estimate about that. Xit, which is taken from px theta. We know about the distribution, which is this probability of this x if the parameter is given. So xit belongs to this distribution where theta is the parameter. We want to estimate theta that makes sample coming from assumed distribution as likely as possible. In other words, we want to estimate this parameter such that if this is the actual population and we have a sample of it, so any sample taken from this should be able to model this population, and that is only due to the parameters. For IID samples, the joint probability can become a product of individual probabilities. For example, here you can see a joint probability distribution of x and y, which has been written as the product of marginal distributions. It means that they are independent of each other. The likelihood of parameter theta given sample x is the product of the likelihood of the individual points. This is interesting. If we have 3 points, 1, 2, 3, and they are identical and independent of each other, then the parameter determined by 1, 2 and 3, their product would lead us to find the probability when theta is given, probability of x, right, and this becomes the likelihood of theta given x, right. How we can find this? We look into the next slides. Maximum likelihood estimation. We want to estimate theta, the parameter of the distribution, such that x is most likely to be drawn from assumed distribution, likelihood x given theta, right, and this is the same formula that we have taken from the previous slide. We search theta that maximizes the likelihood, search, calculate or find, right. Multiplication process is compute intensive, so we convert this multiplication process into the summation process by applying the log on both sides. It makes our computation easier. How to assume a distribution? Now this is an important step, that if we have to assume about a distribution, how can we assume and how that fits to our hypothesis. Let me consider two distributions. The one is Bernoulli distribution and other is the multinomial distribution. Bernoulli distribution is the one which is used to make the decision about two class problem, whereas if we have k classes we will use multinomial distribution. Bernoulli density. Now we look at the Bernoulli distribution and the estimation of its parameters. An event occurs with probability p and its not occurring has the probability 1 minus p. So we can write this fact in the form of an equation which is given over here. Probability of x, probability of an event of interest being occurring is p, and if the x is event of interest, otherwise 1 minus p. Because we have only two possibilities, two classes, so we have the probability p for class 1 and 1 minus p for class 2. And this formula can also be written like this, right? Probability of x 1 minus probability of 1 minus x. So there are two events, x and 1 minus x. So there are two probabilities, p and 1 minus p. For example, the coin tossing experiment, probability of x is equal to head is equal to probability of head into 1 minus p of tail. So this formula is described here. Parameter estimation. P is only parameter to be estimated in this case. For the Bernoulli distribution, we have to only estimate the parameter p. And in that case, the expected value, the mean, could be written as this. In some previous slides, in some previous lectures, we have seen that this is the formula of the expectation. So we are using that. And if we expand it, 1 into p and 0 into 1 minus p, that is p. Whereas 1 is representing here the head and 0 is representing here the tail. Head is event of interest and tail is event of not interest. And the variance is listed like this, that is p into 1 minus p. So these are the two parameters which are derived from the one parameter p, mean value and the variance. Bernoulli distribution. This is the same equation taken from the previous slide, and here we are going to write the Bernoulli distribution for the n number of experiments or for n instances. Let's say that we are considering the coin tossing example, so we have tossed the coin for n time. As we have seen before that it is the independent and identically distributed, so we can write them like this. Here we can see that this equation is for one experiment, whereas this equation has been modified for n experiments. That is the general form of basic equation. Now we look at the log likelihood of this equation, in other words log likelihood. So that could be given as this by taking the log of both sides, log of this side and log of this side. And we simplify the equation here, that is a log likelihood, and here we apply the log in this equation, and we can see that the product could be converted into the sum, resulting in two terms, term 1 and term 2. And further we can simplify this equation, because xt is log p is constant, so we can take it out of summation, and xt is being summed n times, so we can write nxt, and this log p is multiplied with it. And we perform the similar kind of calculations on the second term. It would be a good idea if you apply if you perform these calculations, these computations on your paper, and draw these equations and then determine that how this equation has been found. Bernoulli distribution. This is the equation taken from the previous slide, and now we work it out. Estimate of parameter p that maximizes the log likelihood can be found by solving this equation, taking a derivative of this of both sides and equating it with the 0. So let me take the derivative of these equations on both sides, d over dp likelihood of theta given x, that is equal to d over dp into all of the equation that is given over here. Now we solve this equation, d over dp nxt is constant because it does not have the term which is being derivated, so we can take it out, and that is log p we have here. And this is the same, right, written 2 times, and here we see that we have taken nxt out of the derivation and the log p is being derivated with respect to p. And similarly here we have taken n minus nxt, which does not contain the term which is being derivated, so we can take it out of derivative, and the derivative would be applied on the rest of the term. And if we and here you can see that we have taken the derivative of log p, which is 1 over p dp over dp, and here 1 over 1 minus p d 1 minus p over dp. So this we have further simplified, so this will be crossed out, right, and this is minus, so that would come over here and we will put minus over here. Okay, so now we see here, this is the equation taken from the previous slide, and we have solved it, and this is the further solution that gives us, this is cancelled by it, so we got this, and then this, it has been cancelled by it, and this minus sign has been placed over here as a negative sign. And in this step we are writing this, we have done we have taken p and 1 minus p, and we have multiplied each term with this p into 1 minus p. For example, we have p here and 1 minus p here. So when it is multiplied with 8, this p would be cancelled out with this p. The remaining term would be 1 minus p into nxt, so we have written here. And similarly we have multiplied here p and 1 minus p, so 1 minus p is cancelled out by this term, so remaining is p. We have p into n minus nxt. So we have got this equation, and here we have just opened up the brackets and written all the terms in a straight manner, in a linear manner, and by solving these we can see that this is cancelled out by this. We are left with these two terms, nxt minus pn, this one, and as we are equating it with the 0, so we can put this term toward this side and it would become a positive term, resulting in this equation, and this n is then taken toward the left side, which is this, and p. So p is a parameter which is estimated, and this equation is written here, this one, and this can be further explained as this, right? What it says that the estimation of the probability of an event coming up is the average of that, average taken over all samples. So the average instance would give us the value of the parameter for Bernoulli distribution, right? If we have a data which consists of more than one features, for example, we have the car data set which contains the price and the mileage. We have first, second and third three records. So what we will do, we will, if we have to find out the p value of these, the probability, the parameter value, we will get the average of this P overall and average of this M. So, this average instance would give us the estimation for the parameter, and if we find the parameter, we can later on plug it into the equation to find the decisions about the coming instances, future instances. We observe that there is only one parameter in Bernoulli distribution. It means that if we could only estimate P, we can estimate the distribution of the given sample data, and this estimations can give us a better result for the classification, even for sometime regressions. Now we look at the multinomial case where we have more than 2 classes. In generalization of the Bernoulli distribution with k classes, let x is given by this as previously, and now we change this representation of our equation of our data, that is p of x, it would be 1 if experiment output state is I, otherwise it would be 0. For example, if we have 3 classes, car and bike and bus. So, if we give a car as an instance to our classifier and it predicts as car, we will give it the value 1. If our classifier predicts anything else, bike or bus, we will give it a value 0, right. So, if x is correctly classified, it is given the weight 1, and if it is incorrectly classified, its weight would be 0. For n such experiments, we can extend our this Bernoulli trial formula, Bernoulli distribution formula, and as previously we have seen that we would convert it into the log likelihood, because we will take its log, because the computation become easier with the summation instead of multiplication. And here you can see that we have converted this equation into this because we have eliminated this term. This term is eliminated due to the fact that P would be 1 if it is correctly classified, and P would be 0 if it is not correctly classified, right. So, in that case, if this is 1, this becomes 0, and if 1 minus P is 0, then the power, any power of 0 would become 1, right, multiplied with this term. So, it would result in only this term. 2 terms have been reduced to 1. This is the equation taken from the previous slide, right. For MLE, we take derivatives of the both sides. MLE is equal to d over dp log p of x is equal to d over dp summation t1 to n xt log pt 1. We equate it equal to 1 because this is the only condition for which it works, right. And if we take the derivative, we put the derivative inside, right, log pt, that is equal to 1, and by taking the derivative of pt, it gives us 1 over pt, which becomes this, which is equal to 1, and this pt becomes equal to this pt is moved to this side, right, and summation would apply now on both sides because the t subscript is available with p and t superscript is available with x. So, summation would apply on both sides. The right hand side results in this expression, which is npt, whereas it remains as like this, and keeping pt on this side and moving n to this side and rearranging the equation, we get this. It means that our maximum likelihood estimation for the parameter pt for multinomial class, that is again a average for all instances. Estimating the Gaussian distribution. Now we look at the second distribution, which is a Gaussian distribution, and we see that how it could be estimated with the help of the parameters with the help of the data set that we have available with us. Gaussian distribution has the parameters this mu and variance. Previous Bernoulli had only one parameter. However, the Gaussian distribution has two parameters, which is mu and which is standard deviation and variance, right. Its density function is given by this. The density function of Gaussian distribution is given by this. If we think that our x is taken from the normal distribution or Gaussian distribution, then we proceed as follows. We take the log of both sides to keep the computation easier, right, log of this and log of this. Here we put the probability distribution function of the normal or Gaussian distribution. Normal and Gaussian distribution are the same thing. So, we take the log, and as we are going to take the log, two terms are being multiplied here. So, we convert their multiplication into sum and we get the two separate terms, right, and we further simplify it like this and we simplify it like this. Log of E is basically log E of x is x. So, we take this term after the log as this. Here we simplify it more, log 2 pi sigma power minus 1 plus this is taken from the previous slide and this comes up minus this minus 1 basically, this minus 1 is listed over here, log 2 pi. As there is the square root on 2 pi, so we convert it into the powers, 2 pi power 1 by 2 and log of sigma. Again we apply the log on two terms which are being multiplied, and sigma minus x minus mu square over 2 sigma square, right, we write it as it is here. Then we simplify here more, 1 over 2 is taken as the and multiplied with this term log 2 pi plus log sigma, right, and this, and 1 over 2 is taken out, summation is ranging from 1 to n. So, we place here n over 2 log 2 pi, we got here n log sigma which is this, and n is due to the summation minus this minus comes outside of summation. So, here and this is the term that is just shifted next. So, finally, we have this term that could be considered as the log likelihood, right, and here this term tells us that there are two parameters that we need to estimate. If we are given the sample data set, we will estimate these two, mu and sigma, based on this equation. Now, this is the same equation that we have taken from the previous slide, and we are going to estimate this mu and sigma. This expression is for mu, right, and this expression is for sigma. I am not going to explain this in detail because every step is clear in its own context. So, I just say that the mu is estimated here like this and sigma is estimated like this, right. I have solved the equation, so you should also solve it on your paper pencil, and we come up with these two results, right. It means that we have estimated the parameters for the Gaussian distribution, and if we have the estimate of these two parameters for any next coming instance, we can just put the values and the values of the data and the values of the parameter, and we will get the results. The MLE for the parameters mu and the sigma by taking the partial derivatives of the log likelihood and setting them equal to 0 are given here, which we have found calculated in the previous slide. So, the discussion that we have made till now, it clears us that if we had the estimation of the parameters of the assumed distribution, we can predict the population based on those parameters and the data taken as sample from those population. That is all about for today. I hope the concepts are clear and you know that how we can estimate the parameters for the different probability distributions. For two probability distributions, their proofs are given for Bernoulli and for Gaussian distribution. There may be other distributions as well. So, you must have the idea that how we can calculate the parameters, and later on we will see that how can we plug them into the distribution formulas or distribution models to get the predictions for the new unseen data. That is all about for today. Allah Hafiz.